Hey guys, MacGuffin here. I am back with some more StarCraft 2 action. Bet you thought I'd stopped or converted to the cult of Great Cthulhu. Not just yet, the stars aren't quite right. Anyway guys, we are going to be seeing a Protoss versus Terran on, I believe this is Onhar Beach. It's going to be between the Blue Protoss, NightEnD and MKP, which, I don't know, I guess that stands for Monkey Pineapple Kid or something. Anyway, we are... It doesn't even work, I mean, the acronym's not even right for that. It is of course going to be between the Red Terran, Marineking Prime, and Fnatic NightEnD. Of course, we all know about Marineking. Very aggressive, cheesy, a bit cheesy. He's also very solid in macro and micro. Was second there for quite a long time, and now he's starting to get those golds. NightEnD I don't know too much about. Apparently he's a Romanian player. Also used to play Undead in Warcraft 3. He's going for that in-base pylon as well. Of course, that's a great move. You never want to go Forge Fast Expand on a Terran, even when you've got this lovely double choke map. And of course, Marineking knows the same. You never want to wall in versus Protoss because they'll just sort of shoot you with these stalkers and you'll lose your supply depot, and you don't want that to happen. Anyway, these Warcraft 3 players are usually quite good micro players, so usually very aggressive players, but in this match, I gotta say, Marineking's probably going to be the aggressor. He's just the way he plays. He is going for that in-base barracks, and looks like NightEnD is starting to scout, so he's going gateway first, which is no surprises there. Anyway guys, I have actually been pretty busy for the last couple of weeks, you may have noticed. Bit of a reason for that, it's a bit of a long story, but I was overseas, and actually it's not a long story at all. I was at a wedding for 8 days in Australia, which was great fun. And all this is interesting, we do see a second barracks going down in its hidden position, and actually I'm not sure, no, he won't be able to see this, I'm pretty sure. We'll go to the probe vision, and this is what the probe is seeing, and I have to say I think the probe's going to miss that barracks. He's probably going to sweep around though and probably catch it. These probe players are usually pretty good about that. The first barracks is done at the correct timings and everything, so he's like, oh, nothing going wrong here. The problem is, without seeing that second barracks, it looks exactly like Marineking is doing his 1-racks expansion build. And of course Marineking is known for that. He gets 1-racks, expands, gets a lot of minerals, and then builds a lot of marines, and that's a lot of trouble for you. It looks like NightEnD has decided, okay, I guess it's just an expansion build, and he is now heading down to the expansion. So that's going to be unfortunate for him. Oh, you know, he goes back up, and the marine comes out at just the right time, and it's going to ward away that probe. It looks like he might have just gone up there and checked, and this SCV is now going down as well, probably just a scout. I thought he was going to make it look like he was expanding. But he's dropping down a third barracks, and this is interesting. You see on this supply depot, he's actually used supply drop. That means no mule from in the initial round, and that when you see the supply drop, no mule, that means he wants to get out a lot of units really quickly, and the only reason he wants to do this is he wants to do a really aggressive build. So he's probably going to pull out like half, maybe all his SCVs, I don't know. Well, actually all of his SCVs probably a bit too much, bit by bit for him. Now the Protoss player, how's he going to react? Because he's gone 1-gate build so far. He can always drop another gate, he's got enough minerals for it, and he's also getting out warp gates. And he is scouting around very diligently for those extra proxy racks, but he hasn't seen it yet. And he is starting to build up his minerals a bit, so I think he's being a bit indecisive. He wants to take out this SCV, and he does have a probe here. He's rallied back here, and he's up to 300 minerals. So, I think he's going to expand, and if he does that, he's going to be in a lot of trouble actually. And yes, he expands. So that's bad news for him because Marineking does have 3 operational racks, and he does see, look, he's sending in 6 SCVs. So it's pretty bad news for Marineking. The only good news we could have is that the Space Shark apparently is on NightEnd's side. So, the Protoss now knows, and he can actually be really careful with this Stalker. If he can actually ward down this Marine count quite well, if he can just get them down to half health or something, maybe he can hold it off. He's getting a pylon here, and that's of course to warp in units. And he's got a sentry ready to force field off, so he might be right, but I think he's going to have to cancel this Nexus and drop down a few more gateways. Marineking is continuing to pump Marines, and it's just sort of a red line is going across the map. And it does have a lot of SCVs in there, and you can actually get the SCVs inside with the force. Yeah, he does do that, and now he can just take this down if he wants to be careful. Though, problem is these Marines will never really get in, and he should be alright actually. He's probably just have to cancel this Nexus. And he must be careful here. Actually, these SCVs can actually sight for the high ground, and they are now taking out the SCVs because those one SCV is giving them all the good information. And it looks like they were going to kill that No, it's still alive actually, and the Marines are into the base, and this is bad news for our Protoss player. The Protoss player is only about 7 supply down, but most of his supply is in probes, and these Marines love probes. They're just chewing those up. And what NightEnD needs to do here is just, put his head between his legs and kiss his ass goodbye. But he's not going to give up, so hopefully we can see a bit more of a game. very good crisis management here. He is now going in with some SCVs, and he's keeping his Stalkers alive, and he needs these Stalkers. If he can warp in a couple more Stalkers, he'd actually be alright. He's warded down the Marines to only just a small group, but there is this constant supply going in. But Marineking is starting to expand himself, and when he gets his second command center up, it's going to be really bad news for NightEnD. The Marines are continuing to go in. Marineking now has the SCV lead as well. He's up about 7 workers. There's just a constant stream of Marines in, and they're just going to keep... They're going to keep walking down the probes and the Stalkers. Marineking's going to get into a position where he's got 2 bases going, and he's going to just pop down a bunch more racks, and he'll probably just clean them over. So this is kind of fun now, because Marineking is now in the economic position, and he just needs to play that way to win. He could also possibly take down those next if he keeps sending in units. He could build a bunker, I suppose. It looks like he's just content to do his little Marine micro. He is sending in more Marines. If he just... Yeah, I think actually it's a bit of a mistake. He probably... Oh, here we go. A lot of FCVs, so maybe he's onto me now. And it looks like this Nexus is in really bad shape. He probably should have cancelled it. Marineking now has 2 gases going up, and he's probably going to use this for his upgrades and tech labs or reactors. Of course, he wants to get stim and combat shields out soon. Marines are starting to get a bit weak. I would love to see him actually just build a couple of bunkers down here and just go in for it. The Nexus has now lost its shields. It's still got quite a bit of HP. Got 3 gateways in the main Protoss base now. Just Zealots though. I don't know if these Zealots will be able to do very well against these Marines. They are going in, and the sentries are in the back, and they're not doing too bad actually, apart from entirely dying. And I have to say, I think that Fnatic is going to lose his Nexus, but no, actually he did clean up. That's really impressive by our Protoss player. Looks like the Marine force is starting to run away now, and that's a very bold sentry, going up 3 Marines. I think he wanted to get this SCV killed, that's not going to happen. However, so that was a great move by our Protoss player, except for the fact that he's now about... well, actually he's only about 5 workers down now. This thing is, Marineking now has 5 racks up, 2 bases, 2 mules potentially, and he's also getting out stim and reactor here, so that's basically an extra 2 racks. These Zealots could potentially do some damage, but I think he's going to have enough Marines out just in time. And of course you can always pull some probes and you'll be alright. Yep, pull a couple of them. So he's trying to put a bit more damage back here, and oh nice, force field actually, that's actually pretty clever. He can, if he takes out these 2 mules, or at least prevents them from mining, that's actually quite a bit of economic damage. But you see here, this is a great move by Marineking. He knows that he can't quite save them, so he's putting them here, so if he loses these workers, he's going to lose these Zealots. It's a bit of a mutually destroyed destruction there. The supplies actually evened up into the Protoss' favour. Of course, he does have 2 chrono boosts, and he is in the probe lead again, so that was a great move by our Protoss player. He's putting a forward pylon down. Problem is, this reactor is now done, this reactor is now done, and the stim is just about 75% complete. It's also getting out a factory, but that's probably just going to be transitioning into medevacs. So we had to put the forward pylon back here, because the Marines are now going out, and there's a mortar in there, which is just going to make things so much more annoying. And he is going to be doing his little macros back and forth. And I think the Protoss player has really overextended himself here. He's now going back. He got up to the probe count. See if he's still there. No, it's about even now. He just needs to sort of get some tech units out, I think. And just sort of build up his forces instead of just going with these low gateway units. Marineking is going to have his medevacs very shortly, and of course they're going to be reacted medevacs as well. That's when he's really going to take over this game. The Protoss player is starting to fall in supply, but still fairly close. But I don't know. Well, it's actually... Well, Marineking's really doing well on this, and he's probably going to win, but our Protoss player has done phenomenally well for the position he was in. So, can't cut him out just yet. If he was able to do that... Oh no, don't go up this ramp. He's going up, and that's going to be a bad mistake for him, I think. Puts him into a bit of a concave, and these Zealots are tanking enough, but once those Zealots are gone, these Marauders are just going to chew through these Stalkers like they're... I don't know. Taffy? Butter candy? Something like that? I don't know. Anyway guys, the Protoss player is continuing to try and be a bit aggressive. But again, he's just going to be losing units at this point, and by sending these units in and overextending himself, he has lost supply by about 20. So it's just... It wasn't a very good choice to make. He is now getting his Twilight Council up finally, but the medevacs are already on the field, and the Marines and the Marauders are now starting to walk around. We also have a factory scouting. So I think our Protoss player had a chance to get back into this game, but now he's starting to fall behind. If he can get out some better units, maybe drop down 2 forges and start getting those upgrades out though, he could potentially come back. Do see a couple of medevacs now joining the fray. And a bit of a standoff here at the watchtower. Very tense moment. So I might as well take this moment to say that yes, I will be moving to another country. Going to be very difficult and very annoying. A couple of weeks I'll be extremely busy. And oh, no time for that now. These Marines and Marauders aren't going in. Protoss units have to force retreat. If he gets force field from this ramp though, he should be alright. We can build up some units. Blink has now started. It's also chrono boosting it. And of course that's what you want to do. Do we have any more new buildings? No, it looks like Marineking is set on this composition and this amount of workers and also production facilities. And this is basically he'll never be able to stop building if he just micros correctly. So we just see there's no way he's going to get into this base at this point. With these force fields all freaking out there. And Sentry, stop freaking out. And good force fields, you want to take out those medevacs if you can. And unfortunately they get away. Could have been a nice snatch from there, but as long as he's not dead, that's what's important. So the Marineking is... he wasted a bit of life there with his stem there, but as soon as he gets a couple more medevacs, there should be some... oh, there they are. They should be able to heal up his army quite well. And it's just a bit of a standoff here, a bit of a cold war. Marineking is of course the stronger player, and oh, Doom Drop coming in, and this is actually a really tense situation. The Protoss player now has Blink's just about finished. He could come in and snipe all these things. If he takes the medevacs out and he blinks in, but I think that no, too many Marines have unloaded, and that means that these Stalkers are just going down, and that's it for Fnatic NightEnD. It was a really good for what he, the position he was in, being 3 racks and SCV'd in on a Nexus after 1 gate. That was actually a really good performance from him. So anyway guys, as I was saying, I am moving to another country, and that is going to be Japan. I got a job over there for a year, so I'll still be doing stuff, but I'm going to be pretty busy for the next couple of weeks while I set up over there. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and see you later.